Oscars have frequently been awarded to actors portraying real life people, and many more have been nominated for these portrayals. Hey, it's Michael, aka Oscar Man, and I was going to do a video on both actors and actresses who received Oscar nominations for performances in biopics. But the list for lead actors alone was more than 20, so I decided to focus on lead actresses for the first one and see how it goes. Note, this is not a comprehensive rundown of every single biopic performance by an actress that received a nomination. So let's begin with the most recent nominee, Carrie Mulligan. In 2023's Maestro, I think Mulligan gave the best performance in the film. While I also thought Bradley Cooper was excellent as Leonard Bernstein, I had problems with this movie, mainly Cooper's direction, which I thought was uneven and made the film drag. However, Mulligan nailed what could have been a stereotypical long-suffering wife role and turned her into a smart, strong woman who made a sense of, let's say, a non-traditional marriage. Here's an example of how excellent I think she was.
To think I could survive on what he could give. It's just so ironic. I would look at everyone, even my own children, with such pity because of their longing for his attention. It was sort of a banner I wore so proudly. I don't need. And look at me now. Who's the one who hasn't been honest?
Had Mulligan not been nominated in such a strong year, I think she would have easily won her first Oscar. For me, one of the finest film portrayals of a living person was given by Angela Bassett in 1993's What's Love Got to Do with It? I thought this was a powerhouse of a performance, and Bassett evoked the personal tragedies and triumphs of Tina Turner's life with honesty and sensitivity. Of course, one could look at this film as telling the story from only one perspective. Okay, Ike was likely the only one who thought so. And to be fair, most biographies aren't necessarily balanced in their narrative. That said, Turner spared no ugliness regarding the brutality she endured, and her story of survival remains potent to this day. While Angela Bassett had lots of great scenes, this one always moved me to tears.
I'm Tina Turner. My husband and I just had a fight. I'm supposed to open at the Academy tonight. I have 36 cents and a mobile card. But if you would give me a room, I swear I will pay you back.
Holly Hunter's performance in The Piano was unbeatable the year Bassett was nominated, but I'll bet Bassett came in a close second. I think it's brave for an actress to undertake a film which portrays the life of Marilyn Monroe. And Michelle Williams really surprised me in 2011's My Week with Marilyn. This recreation of the filming of The Prince and the Showgirl provided an insightful look into an icon who had been the subject of several films which were loosely based in fact. I thought Williams offered a portrayal of Monroe as vulnerable but also intelligent, sensitive, not tragic. Of course, the film showed us Monroe's well-known flaws of being insecure and how it impacted her work. What I especially liked about Williams' performance was that she didn't try to imitate Monroe, but rather capture her essence through voice and mannerisms. My Week with Marilyn was an imperfect film, but Williams did Monroe proud, like in this scene.
I'm 30. I guess that makes me an old lady to you.
7 years is nothing.
You know I've been married 3 times already. How did that happen?
Or maybe you're just looking for the right man.
They always look right at the start.
I think this was Williams' strongest performance of her 5 nominations thus far. Time will tell if she eventually becomes a future Oscar winner. Another surprise performance was given by Melissa McCarthy in Can You Ever Forgive Me? I didn't know anything about the true life story depicted in this 2018 comedy drama. I found this tale of secrets and lies quite fascinating, and the film entertaining. And it's not as though I didn't believe McCarthy had talent. I guess I simply underestimated her. So did the Razzies, who bestowed a Redeemer Award upon her for this performance. Melissa McCarthy definitely earned this Best Actress nomination. As for winning, well, we know what happened that year. Anyway, here's a sample of why I thought this was a career highlight for her.
I've been thinking about writing a new book about what happened and what I did and about you, if you let me.
Like hell I will. What would my boyfriend say if he heard about my shady dealings?
I doubt our crimes even rank on your top 10 of shady dealings.
I hadn't really followed Kristen Stewart's career all that closely, so when she began receiving attention for 2021's Spencer, I was curious to learn what all the fuss was about. I didn't get a chance to vote for her at the SAG Awards because her performance wasn't nominated, but when I did watch her portrayal of the late Princess Diana, I understood not only the critical praise, but the subsequent Oscar nomination. Again, I liked the performance more than the film overall, which will be a consistent theme throughout this video. And like Michelle Williams' portrayal of Monroe, Stewart did not simply provide an imitation. She dug deep into the psyche of this complex woman and her interesting but difficult journey. Perhaps even greater praise than an Oscar nomination came from Diana's former bodyguard, who said, quote, "Out of all the people who played Diana over the past 10 years, Stewart is the closest to her." I think this clip illustrates my thoughts on her performance.
Will you wear it? Of course I will wear it. It says on the label, Christmas Day dinner. And it's Christmas Day dinner. What else would I wear? Don't leave me. I wish to masturbate. You can tell everyone I said that.
Though many thought Kristen Stewart had a shot at winning Best Actress, it was Jessica Chastain's turn that year. Before I discuss the next 5 on my list, here's a quick analysis of 5 more. Ruth Negga was compelling and loving, based on the Supreme Court ruling about an issue that is timely today. Though I'm not a big fan of Salma Hayek, she was tailor-made for Frida. The 2002 film gave us an interesting look into the larger-than-life artist. I've been known to be less than charitable regarding Jessica Lange's 2 Oscar wins, but her role as Frances Farmer gave the actress a chance to show what she could do. Of course, she didn't have a chance in 1982 because of, well, you know. The always wonderful Rosalind Russell gave us Sister Kenny in 1946. She did win the Golden Globe, and this was the first of her 4 nominations. Sadly, none of them produced an Oscar win. Eleanor Parker once said that 1955's Interrupted Melody was her favorite film. Parker studied opera so that she would be convincing when dubbed. This was her 3rd and final nomination. Many on this channel have expressed their dislike of Reese Witherspoon's Oscar win for Walk the Line. I liked her performance in the film, but I also felt that she did even better work in 2014's Wild. I found this film very moving. Wild is pretty much a one-woman show, and I understand why Witherspoon was drawn to the story. I love films about self-discovery.
I found my own way out of the woods. And I didn't even know where I was going until I got there, on the last day of my hike. Thank you, I thought over and over again, for everything the trail had taught me, and everything I couldn't yet know.
I think this is Witherspoon's Oscar performance, and she should have won instead of Julianne Moore. Julie and Julia is a mixed bag, and I think you know why. Whereas Meryl Streep got French chef Julia Child's voice, mannerisms, and most importantly, her heart down pat, Amy Adams was pretty much unwatchable throughout this 2009 film. Don't get me wrong, I like Amy Adams, but I think a film about Julia Child would have been better. Streep was wonderful. As the New York Times said, quote, "She's done it again." As one who enjoys cooking, this is why I enjoyed Streep's performance.
Bone fish we dress, pigeons we make, pastry with so much butter it almost stops your heart just to look at it. My teacher moves so quickly I'm sometimes lost, but I'm way ahead of the others in the class, all of them men, and all of them very unfriendly until they discovered I was fearless.
I would have been fine with Streep winning, again, but instead the Academy determined that it was Sandra's turn. Okay, now I need to preface this one. I am a huge I Love Lucy fan. Ask anyone who knows me. I know every line of every episode of that classic sitcom. When I heard that Cate Blanchett was signed to play Lucille Ball, I said, she'll knock it out of the park. Sadly, Blanchett backed out when told that screenwriter Aaron Sorkin was also going to direct. So, producers, including Ball's two children, pivoted and chose Nicole Kidman. The decision was so controversial that Lucy Arnaz took to social media to calm everyone down. That post has since been deleted. I was skeptical, to be sure, and watched Being the Ricardos more closely than any film I can remember. After the first viewing, I wasn't entirely sold on Kidman's performance, but then I watched it again and again, and I started to see how Nicole Kidman captured the two Lucys, Lucy Ricardo and Lucille Ball. I concede that the script wasn't great, but I felt that Kidman took on this 2021 film with probably more intense ambition to succeed than perhaps anything she's ever done before or since. She said in interviews that playing Lucille Ball gave her sleepless nights because she knew expectations were high and she wanted to do the iconic actress justice. I think she succeeded.
That is your lipstick. Remember, you kissed me at the beginning of the week and then took my handkerchief and wiped the lipstick off and put it back in my pocket. And you said you've never done that before.
I hadn't.
Then what the hell are we talking about?
This is my lipstick.
I was shocked when Kidman won the Golden Globe, and I believe the nomination was a vindication for all who didn't believe she could do it. For me, Susan Hayward gave her best performance as Lillian Roth in 1955's I'll Cry Tomorrow. Hayward did her own singing, and I thought her performance was a knockout. Though she could have easily slid into theatrics, Hayward dove right into the dark side of a woman in the throes of alcoholism and her struggle towards recovery and ultimate personal redemption. The scenes between Roth and her stage mother are powerful.
Oh! Look what you did! And you did it on purpose! You're still trying to make me do what you want, to be what you want! I can't be anything except what I am! Look, what did you drop that bottle for? What are you trying to do, drive me crazy? Go out and get those bottles! Get now!
Though I think Hayward should have won that year, she finally did on her fifth and final nomination for I Want to Live. Which performance do you think I will cover last? If you have learned anything about me from past videos, you'll be able to guess. But before I finish, I want to offer my gratitude to all of you for watching this video. I'd sincerely appreciate it if you would hit the like button after the final thought brought to you by an Oscar-winning actress. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, consider joining our friendly community, who love to offer not only their comments, but also support each other's views. In addition to a new video I post every week, there are daily polls where you get to cast your votes. Even though it's been more than 50 years since Lady Sings the Blues appeared in theaters, I still have difficulty accepting that Diana Ross did not win Best Actress for her tour de force as Billie Holiday. Ross never had an acting lesson prior to making her screen debut in this 1972 film. Yes, I know that she improvised much of this performance, but you need to understand just how difficult that is, much more so than acting from a script. Ross's performance seems so natural. There was no acting for the camera. Remember the late great Robert Osborne from TCM? I have one of his books about the Academy Awards, which he personally autographed to me. Of Diana Ross's performance, Osborne said, quote, "Her role was tough enough to tax a Bancroft or a Page."
Okay.
Sadly, Motown founder Berry Gordy tried buying votes with an over-the-top ad campaign that turned off Academy members. Also, there was Liza in Cabaret that year. Still, I wish Diana Ross had continued with her film career because I think she was a good actress. Hell, I even liked Mahogany. So, which performances by an actress that generated a nomination for portraying a real-life person were among your favorites? Share your thoughts in the comments. And until we meet again, I'll leave you with this.
God bless that potential that we all have for making anything possible if we think we deserve it. I deserve this. Thank you.